Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I'm so happy you are joining me today. It is Thursday, September 26, 2024, and I have a very special episode for you today. We're going to have a free class making 3 projects using the Splendid Autumn Designer Paper and Suite from the 2024 September through December mini catalog from Stampin' Up. I'm so excited about this amazing suite. This is one of my favorites from the mini catalog because the designer paper is absolutely gorgeous. It's my favorite because it features so many beautiful autumn colors and autumn scenes. Let me show you in the catalog. We're over here on page 37, 36, and 37. And this suite includes a stamp set with dies, this amazing 6x6 designer paper, awesome faux glass dot embellishments. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen these yet, the woven golden leaves are so pretty. And then the wild wheat ribbon, I forgot to grab it. Hold on. I'm actually not using it on any of my projects today, but it goes very beautifully with the designer paper and any designer paper that has wild wheat in it. It's really kind of a pretty ribbon. Very kind of rustic, I would say. All right, tell me right off the bat, yay or nay, are you a fan of this suite? Leave a comment and let me know. Let me show you the designer paper. So the stuff I'm showing you tonight is going to be included in the September bonus project kit. So if you order $40 or more from me this month in September 2024, you're going to get this kit for free. And you will have one of 2 series of designer paper because this designer paper only comes with 4 of each sheet in a package. Instead of cutting them in half and creating smaller pieces, that broke my heart to think about getting like just a half of this sheet and not getting the full scene. So what I decided to do is instead break it up so that you're going to get one of 2 different assortments of designer paper, and I almost was able to keep it a full 6x6 sheet for you. I did cut it down a little bit so that it would fit in the cello bag and it would ship okay. So let me show you one of the assortments. I tried to kind of even them out and put similar patterns and colors. Not similar, but break up those similar patterns and colors. Okay, so here is one package that you might get in your make and take kit. It has, oh my gosh, these amazing scenes on one side. Very reminiscent of the Meandering Meadow designer paper, except it is very much for autumn with these beautiful autumn colors, the wheat, the leaves, the trees, the sunsets. Oh my gosh, that one's my favorite, I think. And then on the back side of each of these, we have sort of this like monochromatic, just like solid color, but it's not solid. It has kind of a distressed colored look to it. So I love that it has that kind of texture, but they all kind of coordinate with whatever is on the front, which I think is really fun, especially if you're trying to do like a card where you see both sides. All right, so that's an assortment that will be in one kit with some of the dots. And then the other assortment is going to include similar patterns. We still have those amazing trees and colors. Oh my gosh, I love that one. This one has pumpkins. Oh my gosh, I swear our field near our house, not our field, the field near our house looks just like this. So golden with the soybeans that are ready to be harvested and some flowers too. I love it. So it's not just the autumn colors. It's not just for autumn is what I'm trying to say. You can use some of these images to make cards for other times of the year. Both assortments have some flowers in it, so I love that. Okay, what is Terry saying? Why do you always show something I don't have and make me want it? I'm sorry. I mean, I don't do it on purpose. I mean, I'm just showing you the things that I love. And if you don't have them yet, I'm sorry. That's not my fault. However, with the kit, and this is what I love about these kits, is you don't have to have it, right? You can just get the little taste and you can make the cards that that I'm sharing. And And you don't have to buy the whole thing, of course. If you want to, then that would count towards your purchase to earn this kit. Now, if you are shopping, I will tell you there is an amazing clearance rack update with some really crazy prices. A lot of designer paper and ribbon. I don't know how much is left of the in colors from last year, but you guys have been cleaning out the clearance rack. There's so many crazy deals. If you have placed a clearance rack order, leave a comment and let me know. Okay, now if you don't shop with me, maybe because you shop from yourself because you're a demonstrator, or maybe you're watching this video late and you missed it, you can get past kits of mine in my little kit shop at juliedavison.com/kits. And just today, I added last month's kit featuring the season of green and gold. And so this kit is now available to purchase if you missed earning it for free. So there's a couple different ways to get my kits. You can get it for free when you place a qualifying order. I also have an opportunity for my team members to subscribe to my kits for a ridiculously cheap price. And then whatever's left over, the next month I make them available to everybody. So this is the kit from last month and it's now available to purchase. And if you're watching this video at a later date, this kit that I'm sharing with you tonight will be available to purchase at the end of October, right when I'm revealing the October kit. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm so happy. Oh, good, Katie. I'm so glad that you got the comments back on. Let me know if you have been getting my kits. Let me know what you think of them. Leave a little review, hopefully positive, but I'll take any review. I really have so much fun with these. And one of my favorite parts of these monthly kits is the back pocket card layout. Oh my gosh, I love this. So every kit includes a new back pocket card layout, and the card layouts have measurements and a layout, as well as full color samples that will inspire you. So if you've been stamping with me for a while, this is the second year we've done back pocket card layouts, and they're included in each one of the kits. So if you purchase a past kit, you're going to get the back pocket card layout in there as well, and it's just such a handy reference. I call it the back pocket card layouts because these are card templates and layouts that I keep right there in my back pocket for when I get stuck in a creative rut. So back pocket card layouts to keep right in your back pocket when you need that inspiration the most. All right, let's get started. I'm using the Autumn Expressions stamp set tonight. However, I try to design the kit so that you can substitute any stamp set that you have at home that might be similar. And so this one really is all about these amazing greeting sets. And so I am certain if you've been stamping for any amount of time that you probably have some awesome greetings at home. And so you probably can just easily substitute ones that you have. But if you want the Autumn Expressions, you can get it separately or you can get it bundled with the dies. And I did die cut one of these awesome labels for one of the cards. So you're going to see that, and that die cut will be included in here. Also on two of the cards, I used the Leaf Fall embossing folder. Do you guys have this one? I actually thought that it retired, and so I had put it away in my boxes of things to sell someday. And I saw somebody create a card with it, and I thought that one was gone. And I looked, and it was actually carried over into the online exclusive. So I'm really excited about this embossing folder. I think it works really well with the Splendid Autumn Designer Paper and Suite. And so I have incorporated this embossing folder on two of the card designs that you're going to make tonight. So I just wanted to give you the item number in case you like it as well and you don't have it yet. It's item number 159847, and you can add that to your order over at juliedavison.com/shop. My current host code is in the video description, so you can check it out there. All right, let's dig in and let's get started. Now, I told you that there are two different varieties of paper, and so I will have a finished sample, and in the instructions, I will include a photo of each sample of designer paper. They're going to look very similar, but if you have one or the other, don't worry, because you're going to have a picture of what your card can look like exactly. If you're like that, I know some of you are. You want it to look exactly like my card, but I do encourage you to like mix it up and do something different. And I think so many of you are posting your projects in the Share and Connect group on Facebook, and I'd love to see how you take the kits and just kind of do your own thing. Oh, great. Alita says she loves the kits when she's in a hurry for a card. It's already thought out and designed exactly, and you can just work on stamping and putting it together. Kathy says, your kits are always so amazing and fun to complete, and getting the back pocket card layout is awesome too. Robin says she gets so excited to get the kits in the mail, and it's such a great value. Yes, thank you guys so much for those positive reviews. Maria also says being a part of Julie's team is awesome, and her kits are a great price. For team members, they are a steal. They are a steal. And I have to say that all of my team members, all levels, whether they subscribe to the kits or not, they all get the back pocket card layout. So when you're on my team, you'll get those 3 back pocket card layouts for the quarter in the mail. In fact, I'm getting ready to send out the ones for September and August and July. So those are going to be coming in the mail the first week or 2 of October. If you're on my team and you've met your quarterly minimum, then you're going to get those back pocket card layouts automatically every month. Okay, not every month, every quarter. Let's get started. We're jumping in with that back pocket layout for our very first card. And we're using one of my very favorite colors for fall. It is Cajun Craze. And I think the reason that I love this color so much is because it reminds me of my redheads. My husband has red hair. My mom does too. That's where my kids get it from. So I have 4 kids and 2 of them have red hair and the other 2 have brown hair like me. And so the redheads, they get it from, of course, mom, and also from Jim. Isn't genetics fun? 50-50 shot of getting red hair, and I have 50% of my kids have red hair, but I swear it is like this color. It is so beautiful. So I have a piece of cardstock here for the card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and then an embossed piece of cardstock. This one is 3.5, 3.25 by, I think it's 3.25 by 4.25. And then we're going to put this on the front. We've got a piece to go across here, and this is going to be sort of the layer behind our designer paper. I have a white piece for the inside, another little white strip for the greeting on the front, and then I had to give you some of these woven leaves because they are so awesome. They're kind of meshy, and I don't know how well you can see it, but they almost have like this I don't want to say embossed, but sort of this texture to them. Well, that one doesn't seem to have it, but this one has some sort of like veins on it. Now, the package includes 75 of the leaves, and there is a large one and then a small one. And so in the package, we counted them out. Thank you, Shar. There are 25 large ones and there are 50 small ones. And so some of you might get a large and a small, and some of you might get 2 smalls. That's just how the package works out to be. But they are really gorgeous and make such a fabulous, easy embellishment for your fall cards. And I showed this on another project when we did Sunday stamping, that you can take and color and customize your leaves. So on this one, I used the dark Cajun Craze to color that leaf, and I included also just the regular golden one too. Oh my gosh, is this paper amazing? It's so beautiful. Here are one of the extra card samples I have to share with you tonight. There are going to be several, and I'll just kind of weave them in throughout the evening. All right, so I told you this was the back pocket card layout. So you've got all the measurements there with the color samples. And so you can kind of see where we're going with that. Let's get this card together, and then I'll show you the bonus sample in real life. For this card, I designed it with this pattern in mind. So these are like little pumpkins. And so we're going to cut this designer paper down, and then we're going to cut it into 3 pieces. So let's get out our paper trimmer. And we're going to cut this. I want to cut it down to 2 inches. And so I'm kind of going to think about what I want to show. So I'm looking here at my 2-inch line on the paper cutter, and I'm going to see where it's cutting here. And I do want to keep some of that skyline intact, but I also want some of the pumpkin. So I think this looks about right here. And that's about, and I think this is kind of when I cut, I figure out where I want the top to be, which is going to be right there. And then I'm going to turn it around and trim it down to 2 inches. So I am going to cut some of those pumpkins off, which I know is sad, but we can put that on the inside of the card down here and still use that. And then of course we've got all this amazing sky piece, which we can save for another card. I kind of love that sky. It doesn't even have any of the like autumn colors, but you could use that with the airplane set or a hot air balloon or something like that. Oh, it's so pretty, the colors. All right, back to our piece here. We're gonna save that for another project. Not today, but I just mean you can use it again at home. All right, so our leftover piece is 5.5 inches right now, and we need to cut it down to 4.5. So pick your favorite end and cut the other one off. So this is going to be the end that I'm not using. And so I've got now a 2-inch by 4.5 piece of designer paper. And now I'm gonna cut this into 1.5-inch segments. And it should work out perfectly that I make 2 cuts at 1.5, and then the last one is also 1.5. So we're going to use those pieces there. And it's important you want your scene to kind of connect. So we're going to keep those in that order. All right, then we're going to come back and bring in some stamps. For this project, I'm using the greeting that says, "May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy." Love that. And on all the cards, I'm using Early Espresso to stamp the greetings. So bringing back our pieces here, let's do some stamping. For the inside, I'm going to use that little bit of designer paper that I cut off. And this is about 1/2 inch. So if you're cutting a separate piece that you want to include on your card, 1/2 inch is a good size. I sometimes do 3/4 of an inch on the inside as well for the designer paper. And then I think I should do something like stamp something else on the inside. So let's look at our stamp set here. For the front, we have "May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy." And then, you know what? I like "Grateful for you." How about that? I didn't use that one, so we're going to add that to the inside. Just need to grab a clear block here. And well, that looks good. I see your comment, Lynn, about a handbell choir tonight. My parents are both in a handbell choir, and I love listening to them, especially at Christmas time. And yeah, ding-a-linging. They call themselves the Dingalings, I think, right? Is that? It's so cute. I just love it. All right, we're gonna do the Early Espresso, and we'll do that on the inside. "Grateful for you." Sometimes my label is not straight, so I try to make sure that it's straight on the block, and then I look at the block to make sure that it's straight on the cardstock. And then for the front, again, I'm going to try to make sure that's straight on the block. I was having problems with it earlier, so I'm just going to adjust a little bit. Always a good idea to have some scrap paper and test your stamp, but I'm just going to go for it, because there's always 2 sides to every paper, right? Hey, oh, I was bragging about how good I did, and then I flipped it into the ink pad. Oh, that's what I get for an early celebration. Okay, let's move to the side. And you know what? I'm just going to cut our little bit off there. And no one's ever going to know. I'll trim a little here so they're even. Okay, let's get this card together. This is exactly what I love about these card kits. Just like Alita was saying, it's so great to just have something thought out and you can just go ahead and put it together. So in addition to the kit, you will have a PDF with instructions and measurements and all of that, and the photos to create your projects at home. And I also sell all my PDFs in my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in just getting the PDF of my tutorials to make the projects at home, that is an option for you. I'm going to start by centering the center panel on the Early Espresso, and then the other panels that I'm adding are going to hang over just a little bit over the edge of the Early Espresso. Now, this cardstock layout was actually inspired by a card I made a couple years ago featuring a snowflake stamp set. And that card was inspired by a project I saw in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, which I think was made with a flower stamp set. So a lot of you ask sometimes where I get my inspiration. I get it from the catalog a lot. I get it from other cards. I get it from past cards. I've been a demonstrator for 22 years. And so I love finding old projects and like bringing them out again and reusing the layout or, you know, just the idea. I'm going to add this in the center just with some regular adhesive on our Cajun Craze card base. This cardstock seems to have some built-in texture, which is not necessarily normal, but I am not hating it. Do you see it? It kind of has some, I don't know how to describe it, just a little bit of fibery kind of texture. It's not textured cardstock, it's just regular cardstock, but I guess this one isn't quite as smooth. It looks smooth on this side, but anyway, like I said, I don't mind it, so not a problem here. I'm going to add this to the inside. And I love the way that designer paper kind of continues inside. Our focal image here is going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals, so let's get those out and add them to our panel. I love Stampin' Dimensionals, and I feel like I use them on almost every single card. So you'll see a lot of Stampin' Dimensionals. Not an excessive amount, but I just mean I use them a lot to kind of pop things up. But especially, I like to use them when I am layering on top of a textured layer, because sometimes that's just not flat and it can cause the cardstock not to stick smoothly and exactly. So I like to use Stampin' Dimensionals over a layer like that. I am hovering and centering, and then I'm going to come down and kind of make sure that's straight and then give that a little rub. To finish it off, we're going to bring in those leaves. Oh my gosh, I just love them. They're so pretty. Let's use some glue dots to put these on. Oh, Cindy, I do have a host code. It's actually pinned in the live chat. So if you go to the top of the live chat, there's like kind of a dark box, and you'll find the host code pinned there in the live chat. It also is in the video description. Yes. Thank you, Fonda, for answering. Okay. And so I'm going to use a glue dot on the bottom of each of these, and let's see, just sort of like, I kind of hate to cover up that paper, but you can almost see through it. So I love that that color is still there. And I specifically chose a small greeting so that it didn't cover up the amazing designer paper. All right, let's come on here with some more Stampin' Dimensionals. I told you I use a lot, but I try to limit it to just like 2 layers of Stampin' Dimensionals, so that the card isn't too bulky. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. Oh my gosh, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But what do we need to finish off a card? Say it with me, bling. Mom says we do, right? We have our faux glass dots, and this does come in 4 colors. We've got the pumpkin pie, the sort of crushed curry, wild wheat, and then it also comes in like an old olive and Cajun craze. And so you're going to get a portion of the faux glass dots. You'll get 2 colors or the other 2 colors. So in my other sample, I used the other colors that I included with that designer paper. For this one, I don't know, should we use yellow or should we use orange? I'm kind of feeling the orange, so we got the yellow leaves. Oh yeah, I like that contrast. I think that's good. And we'll do one more. I'm going to put it on the tag. Okay, here is our finished card with all the bling. And here is the same design with the other designer paper pack. And so like I said, it looks like the same card because it is the same card. But you'll see the designer paper in the background is a little bit different. This designer paper had kind of the same layout with like a small, you know, earthy part and then the sky. And so that's why I split them up into two different packages. This one has like the pumpkins, but this one has the sun in there, which is really beautiful too. So I would say this or that, but it's like exactly the same card. So you're just going to say both, as you should. Cindy's asking about the host code. What is the host code for? The host code, when you use it in the online store, it pulls orders from the online store together to for the purpose of host rewards or party rewards. And so I use the host code and then turn in the host rewards to get the paper and to get the gems that I include in the kit. And so if you're ordering less than $150 and you use the host code, you're just kind of contributing to that party reward that I then turn into pieces that I can include in the kit. If you are not, or if you're ordering more than $150, don't use the host code and get the extra host rewards for yourself. So either way, and if you forget the host code, it's not a big deal. I will still send you a kit. But if you can use the host code, it is just helpful for me to be able to get the supplies that I include in the kits that I send to you. All right, I know, don't you love this one? Like I said, this is the back pocket card layout card. And so on the back, there's always an extra sample. So here is my extra sample with the same layout. I love this paper. The Snowy Wonder little penguins are adorable. I fussy cut them from designer paper, stamping the snowflakes in Pool Party behind it. I used a snowfall embossing folder with the Pool Party, a little bit of Poppy Parade in the background to match their hats and their scarves, and then some of the loose snowflakes to embellish. Isn't it adorable? This is where I should ask this or that. Are you a lover of autumn, or do you prefer the winter? And maybe you love them both. They are definitely like cards, I feel like, for two different people, or just for, I mean, you could send them to the same person, but I just feel like they're very different in their in their style. And so I want to show you these extra samples to encourage you to create the same layout using different designer paper and different stamps and different images, right? So that's the whole idea of the back pocket card layout, is to inspire you when you're crafting at home with whatever paper, whatever images, whatever stamps you have. I know, it's so cute. Okay, that was project number 1. I can't decide. I think I actually like the penguin paper, or the penguin, the pumpkin paper best. Before we move on to our second project, I want to show you this card. This was a fun fold I did for Sunday stamping. Mom and I shared some Splendid Autumn projects, and so I'll leave the link to this video tutorial in the video description for you when we're all done. I incorporated some die cuts, some of the leaves, some of that wild wheat ribbon. This is a belly band on a double gatefold card that utilizes almost that whole piece of beautiful designer paper. Isn't that fun? I really had so much fun making this project. I was actually inspired by a card that I had made with the Meandering Meadow designer paper, and so it felt natural to make a similar card with the autumn paper because it's almost like the same thing with just different colors. Here is a project. This is the one that Mom created when she shared her Sunday stamping video, and I love that she kind of used that outline from the tag die, and so she's got hers in crushed curry with the outline in Cajun craze, and then she colored the leaf and added the little die cuts there too. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, this paper is so fun. Let's move on to our second project. I always like to include a fun fold card in my card kits, and so that's something that I've been doing new in 2024. I don't think January had a fun fold, but all of the other months since have had a fun fold, and so it's been a fun challenge to create cards that are a little interesting and different. So for today, we are going to do a fun fold, and this is a sidestep card, but it's an easy sidestep card. Now, I've been a demonstrator for 22 years, and so we used to have this, fancy template where we would like cut and score, and no, we're gonna make it super easy. We have a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 inches by 8, and I've scored it at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. And so what I've done is created sort of a mountain, like a double peak mountain card like this for our card base. And then I have another piece that is 3 inches by 6 inches. And this one is scored at 4 1/4. And this is going to be kind of that side step, and it will attach to the back here. I'm getting some blurry images right now on my screen. Do you guys see that too? Is it just me? I don't see any indication on the phone why it would be blurry. So sorry if that is coming across for everybody else as well. All right, so we have our 2 pieces for the card base. I'm using Early Espresso for this. It looks like we're clearing up, so hopefully it won't come back. All right, and I think we talked about that last time we had this issue, and I don't know, I don't think it's an autofocus. I've been using the same phone for so many years. Okay. This piece, I use that leaf fall embossing folder on crushed curry. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to go in the back here as kind of a background. And I'll just give you a warning. Yours may not have so many leaves. Yours might just have some leaves on one side and then be kind of plain on the other side. And I promise you it's going to turn out beautiful, even if you don't have a full thing of leaves. My other sample will show you how beautiful it will be without a full thing of leaves, because it kind of gets covered up like this, so it'll be okay. So we're going to add this to the background right here, and then the same size 5 1/4 by 2 3/4 is what we use for the inside piece, and that's going to go down here. And so we can do some simple stamping on this piece and stamp our greeting. And I have die cut these. I'll die cut these labels for you. So this is one of 2 that comes in that die. Really kind of a fun die. It also has the frames, and it's like meant to fold up all fancy like. We're just going to use it as a label on this card. And I have punched with the punch that I have such a hard time with. It's the bow wow punch, the bow punch. And I've punched in old olive and crushed curry for you. A little bit of fall foliage there. And we need to cut out some designer paper. And this is going to be for our focal point. And I love that. Cindy says sometimes she takes a piece of paper and just starts folding it, hoping to make a new fun fold. It hasn't happened yet. I think one time I like invented my own fun fold, and I thought it was really awesome, and like it didn't really take off or anything, but I'll have to see if I can find wherever that went to. It was a long time ago. I don't necessarily aspire to be the originator anymore. This is a project that I did a few years ago, and so I just love to bring it back again. Okay, for this card, I really want to focus on some of the fall colors. And so I want to bring in, especially because we got a lot of yellow going on here, I want to bring in this pattern right here. Although I think you could also use this one and it would be lovely. But this one has a better, smaller size image. You could use that tree. Well, you could use whatever you want. I'm going to use this one. And it's going to go on the front here. And so we're going to cut this to be 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer out, and I pretty much want to go right here in the corner. So I am going to just make some clean cuts. And I will start with the 4. So I'm going to cut 4 inches here. No, maybe I'm going to start with a 2 3/4. I don't know. 2 3/4 this way and 4 inches this way. Okay, so now we've got a nice big piece. That's why I was trying to leave that one bigger. And that's pretty too, isn't it? I love that. All right, let's bring this back over here. We're gonna put this onto our card front. And it just makes me so happy. It's got all the colors of the season. And let's break out our stamping. So for our greeting, I'm going to use the Change is Beautiful stamp. it fits really nicely onto the label. Change is beautiful. We're going to do that with the early espresso. I'm going to bring in a leaf stamp and the crushed curry ink as well. And for the inside, let's use the one we did on the first card. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. The other stamps in this set include some small You've Got This and Dear Friend, and we're going to use this one on the next card. But there's lots of sentiments, which I just love, and a few of the little coordinating fall images. So let's do this first. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. And then for our label, change can be beautiful. I love that. That is so true, right? In fall, change is so beautiful. The changing of the leaves and the changing of the season. There is so much beauty in this season. That looks weird to me. I'm going to stamp it over here. Just a little leaf on the inside, bringing in some of the coordinating images. I feel like the stamping on these cards is kind of simple, but it really just lets the designer paper be the star, be the showcase, because it is gorgeous enough to stand on its own, don't you think? I'm going to add this to the inside. And that fits right down in there. I've seen people make this card and include a panel on the back, but I think that that's enough space. Plus it would be exactly the same size as the piece on the back, so I like it on the inside there. And then we're going to attach the other part of our card base. Now for this, I recommend tear and tape because it's easy to control and it's heavy duty and will hold your card together without any problems. So with the tear and tape, you're going to use one piece on each end of the back of the cardstock. And I went over a little bit. I'm just going to fold that back. There we go. All right, so the bottom is going to line up with the bottom of the card here. I'm going to leave about an inch or so on the side. So put that down first. And then you're going to flip the whole thing over, lay it flat. This is important because if you don't lay it flat, you can end up with a weird, you know, it glues in a weird spot, but we want this to be flat, all those layers to be flat down. And then we're going to simply fold this over and it's going to just barely hit where it needs to hit. And we're going to just rub that tear and tape and that's it. That's perfect. So if you try to do it, you know, weird or not folded flat, then you might end up with a card that is not quite straight. All right, so there we have it. I love the way this sits up, just such a beautiful scenery here. And we're ready to do our embellishments. I see your question, Katie. She says, are you doing these kits instead of doing the online classes like you have done in the past? And the answer is yes. I used to do classes with 5 cards featuring the same suite and the designer paper, and I would offer the stamp set as an add-on. And honestly, what I found was that designing 5 cards and putting the kits together and like running that was very time consuming, and I was getting to the point where like I wouldn't have time to do it and I would just kind of put it off, and then we went months in between kits, and so I know that that was frustrating for you guys not to have the kits. And I was also doing the monthly kits for this, but they weren't all focused on the same suite, so I decided to change the monthly kits to focus on the same suite and create 3 projects instead of 5. And so it has been a lot easier for me to manage in my business. So I'm so sorry that you missed the kits. I do have some random bigger kits like the Jungle Pals that we did in March. And then I think I'm going to do another larger kit like a Sweet Escape like we did last year, featuring, last year we featured the Modern Garden. I think this year we're going to feature the Sentimental Christmas Suite for a bigger class. So stay tuned. I'm working out the details. Really, it's a matter of time. Like I just don't have time to do more than I already do. And so I have to be careful not to take on too many commitments and over overextend myself. I put a little bit of adhesive on the back corner here, and I'm going to just add those die cuts and kind of layer them, making sure they get stuck. And then I'm going to add this to the front of the card here. And you'll notice that the top corner on the left side hangs over the edge. And so I gotta be careful when I'm putting my adhesive down that I don't include anything back here. I'm gonna stick the whole card down. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back here, because that's gonna overlap with this, and along the bottom. So let's get those Stampin' Dimensionals back out. And I'm going to go across the bottom and then another one up there. Oh, I love the way this turned out. It's so pretty. Of course, we need to add some gems though, right? So let's bring in our gems here. And we've got yellow and we've got orange, and I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe orange again, because we got the yellow going on in the background. So I'm going to bring in some orange dots, and I never know where to put the third one. Sometimes I just want to leave it off, but I think that looks good. Change is beautiful. Here is the other version of the same card. And again, I know you're going to say it looks almost exactly the same, and that's the point. So one packet of designer paper is going to have this pattern. The other one will have this pattern. And so you can make the same card with the same card base and colors and just switch out the patterns. And if you want to do a completely different pattern from your paper, you'll have some other patterns to choose from. What do you think of this one? The little sidestep card is so much fun, and I love the way that it displays and kind of pops up and just has that sort of like built-in dimension with the back layer and then the front layer and the designer paper. Oh, I'm so glad that you like it. I would do it this or that, but like I said, they're pretty similar. If I had to choose, I don't know, maybe I would choose this one, because I do love pictures and images where there's like a path or a road. I just feel like it has this movement that the other one doesn't. But the other one is definitely more colorful and more full of the fall colors. Gosh, either one, right? And so here's the one. Remember I said you might have an embossing piece that is only coming out on one side and then plain over here versus the one that was embossed all the way across. So it's going to be fine whichever piece you have, and you're still going to be able to make a beautiful card. All right, this was card number 2. I'm going to show you some more card samples here featuring the Splendid Autumn Designer Paper to inspire you. These are just bonus ideas. And if you have extra pieces of designer paper, which you will, maybe you'll be inspired to make some of these other cards. So this first one is by Meg Lovin, and she used just a little bit of designer paper with the Cajun craze. Actually, I think she used copper clay, wild wheat, but she's got some gems and some ribbon and the leaf in there, and then one of the stamp images. Here's one from Karen Titus, and she did some scoring here for some extra texture on the card base, and then that designer paper. This looks to me, without measuring, that it's probably 3 inches by 5 1/4, so you can get 2 of these cards from one piece of designer paper, and then some layering and the nice stitched greeting there. Our next card comes from Kay Kaltoff, and she used a piece for the whole background and then did a layered label there in the center for the focal point. So beautiful with all that amazing paper. And all the paper, all these designs are hand painted and hand drawn by Stampin' Up concept artists. I mean, wow, to have that kind of talent. Here's a card from Susan Campfield. She used the Forever Plaid embossing folder. That's a new one. It's in the Reindeer Days mini catalog, Reindeer Days suite in the mini catalog. She used some copper, and then I just love that pattern in the background. Lots of copper there, really beautiful. It goes so nicely with the copper clay. And I've shared this one before. I created it myself, but it was designed by Jody Anderson as part of our shoebox swap. She used the In the Grove die here from Pebbled Path, and then inside is a card that opens like a note card, and she used the painted texture embossing folder. Do you see that extra texture on this pattern piece? And I just adore this. I think it is so beautiful. All right, so some extra inspiration using the Splendid Autumn. We have one more card to make, and I will tell you this one is kind of simple, but this paper is so beautiful that I just kind of wanted to let it shine. So I decided to create a card featuring some of the flowers. And so I have two options here. I'm kind of leaning towards the purple, I think. This is... I don't know what kind of flower this is. I think this is Queen Anne's lace though. And this just looks like a wildflower. I don't know. If you know flowers, then you can leave a comment and let me know. But I love the color. This looks like Highland Heather to me. And so I think that's why I want to use this pattern. But look at all these extra pieces that you're going to have to play with at home and create some other additional beautiful projects. And this last card is so simple that it really might inspire you to create more cards just like this one. So I'm using a Mossy Meadow card base. And then the designer paper we're going to cut down to fill that card front. Let's see. Melissa says the purple looks like asters. Oh, I love that. We have a piece for the inside, which we can stamp on, and then a die cut circle. I use the Stylish Shapes for this one. That's the one that has rounded rectangles, circles, and banners. So this is about a 3-inch circle, maybe 2 3/4. Let's cut our designer paper. You can choose which end you like better, and that's going to be the 4 inches. So we're going to go here and cut off because I like that sky a little bit better. And then we're going to cut this down to fit a card front at 5 1/4. So again, you can kind of decide how much of the sky you want to show. I want to keep that sky in there, so I'm just going to cut off the bottom, which is going to be perfect for our inside. And then we'll have this extra piece, which we are going to use for the front of the card. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to cut and use the back side, the purple, and I'm going to cut 2 1/2-inch strips, leaving a 1/2-inch strip for, I don't know, something else. Okay. I like this paper so much. We're going to first attach the strips over here to the side of the designer paper, and then we'll do our stamping. So let's glue all the paper down here. This on the inside. And then the strips. Now, when we put the strips down, we're going to put the circle over the strips. And so we want to kind of center them over where that circle is going to be so that the circle sticks out from either side. So I'm going to go about 3/4 of an inch or so from the edge. I hesitate so much to cover up this beautiful paper with the strips, but I think it just kind of helps to offset the greeting a little bit. I'm going to move them over just a smidge. Okay, we'll just trim this off. Let's add this to the card front. And for the inside, we probably should stamp it first, but I'm just gonna go for it. For the front, I want to use this one that says, "Have a perfectly lovely day," because to me that says use me year round for any occasion. Have a perfectly lovely day on your birthday, or just because I'm thinking of you, or whatever you want to say. And on the inside, you could stamp, you know what, I think I might leave mine blank. We have that designer paper in there, which I love, but this will leave it open-ended so I can use it for other things. One of the things I did bring in here, I got out my Highland Heather, thinking I could stamp a little bit of the wheat in there. I know that it's wheat, but I thought it could look like flowers or something. I should have done it before I put the designer paper down, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to mask it. And I'm going to put it in there. If you don't like it, you don't have to put it on yours, but I'm going to put it on mine. Boop. All right, for the front, we are going to stamp "Have a perfectly lovely day." And I'm going to do this one in early espresso. Now, I did try stamping this image on one of the labels. Let me get it out of the trash can and show you. I just felt like it didn't fit very well. I felt like it was kind of crowded and over here. So you can tell me what you think. Do you like the larger label, or do you prefer the circle? So let's do a quick this or that, because if more people like the label, then I'll just die cut the label and include that. And if more of you like the circle, then I will include that when I make the project kits. So this or that, circle or label. I guess don't say this or that, say circle or label if you can. I just feel like it fits the sentiment a little bit better. Ooh, we started off with 3 circles, Cindy, Margaret, Fonda, but then we got a couple labels, Janice, Jaylene, more circles, Sherry, Tony, Diane, Lori, Cheryl. I think circle's gonna win. You know what I'm gonna say. If you are making this card at home, you can use the label, you can use any shape you'd like to create this card. But since we've got more labels, votes, I'm gonna stick with circle for this kit. Just because I think it fits the words a little bit better. All right, our Stampin' Dimensionals, we're going to add those. And I told you this card was simple, but I think the designer paper really shines. And it's also such a versatile kind of layout. You could do this with any of the patterns. Oh, I want to scoot it over just a little. Shh, it's going to be okay. Oh, okay. I'm reassuring you and me at the same time when I do that. All right, I know that seems like so minuscule, but I gave myself just a little bit more breathing room on this side to center that circle a little bit better. So it was worth it. Let's bling it up with some gems. I think for this one, there's not like a lot of yellow in here, but I think purple and yellow go really well together. And so I'm going to add some of the yellow gems around the greeting. Okay, here is the one I showed you. Let me show you the other designer paper. Has a different flower pattern. So this one is definitely a this or that. Do you prefer the purple asters or the yellow? To me, they look like sunflowers, although they're not quite as big. So maybe they're not sunflowers. Melissa, do you know what flower they are? Oh gosh, I can't decide. I really do love them both. They're so pretty. And if you have more of this designer paper, just make them both. Make them all. Like I was talking about doing the Queen's Anne lace. The Queen Anne's lace, I think that would be so, so pretty too. This one, the other side is green. So I feel like I might bring in a different color from one of the other backs to add to that, like maybe some contrasting copper clay or a little bit of the yellow or something like that. But I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, what do you think? This was the September kit featuring the Splendid Autumn Designer Paper. And so I'm going to bring all the cards back in to show you. And of course, you're only going to make one of each, one of each card. The kit will only include one of each, but I wanted to show you how it would look with all the different designer papers. And then the paper you get, you'll have extras, lots of extras here to make even more projects with the Splendid Autumn Designer Paper. Oh my gosh, if you enjoyed tonight's video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future card making videos and free classes. And if you would like to earn this project kit for free, be sure to order in my online store by September 30th. That is Monday, so you have a few more days to do that. You want to order $40 or more to earn the kit for free. If you order less than $40, I'll still send you the backpack card layout. I will send you the link to the PDF and the bonus projects. I always forget to talk about the bonus projects. There's a whole PDF of bonus project ideas featuring the Splendid Autumn Suite to go along with your project kit. Now that bonus PDF is only available to customers when they order and to my team members. I'm not allowed to sell that tutorial, so I can't include it when I sell the PDF or when I sell the card kit. I can't include that bonus PDF. So if you're looking for lots of ideas, you'll find them right here. Thank you so much for shopping with me. Oh, I see Cindy's question. She says, can you explain how you get a kit? Yes. So there are 3 ways to get this kit. The first way is if you place an order of $40 or more in my online store. So if you're a customer of mine and you order $40, then you'll earn this kit for free. Please use the host code if you're ordering less than $150. You'll find it pinned in the top chat. It's also in the video description here. The second way that you can get this kit is if you are one of my team members. If you're a Jubilant Stamper who is on my team, then you'll get to subscribe to these monthly kits for just $5 a kit. It's a steal. I want to support my team members by keeping them stamping. And so that is the most amazing way to get these kits, is to be a team member and to subscribe to those monthly kits at the special team rate. Okay, the third way that you can get the kit is by purchasing past kits. And so this kit will be available for sale just in the limited supply that I have left after I send them to everybody else. They will be available for sale late next month in October. I always shoot for the last Tuesday of the month, but sometimes the week just falls a little different than that. And you can go to juliedavison.com/kits, where you're going to find all of the kits from the last year, from 2024. All of my past kits are there and available for you. So you can browse all of those. And this one will be added next month. Oh, another question from Cindy. Does the Dazzle paper shed? That's a good question. In the clearance rack, we have some Dazzle paper, and I don't think that it sheds very much. Like if you rub it hard, it might shed, but I think it's pretty good on not shedding. I know what you mean about glitter paper that sheds, but I don't remember that one doing a lot of shedding there, so I think you are safe to get that. Yes, Sherry says, plus you get the back pocket card layout. That is included. There's a new back pocket card layout in each one of the kits, whether you are getting it as a customer when you shop, or if you're getting it as a team member, or if you're getting a past kit, the back pocket card layout is there for all of those. All right, you guys, thank you for all the questions. Thank you for being here and leaving so many great comments and helping me make some choices as I was stamping tonight. I hope you enjoyed these cards as much as I do. They just make me so happy and ready for fall. I will be back on Sunday for Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie at noon. Mom and I will be sharing projects this week using the Sentimental Christmas Designer Paper. These are the projects that we've designed for Vacation Stamping School, a demonstrator event that is happening this weekend on Saturday. So I'm super excited to be gathering virtually with all of our team members and demonstrators across the country, even across the world. We have a couple of demonstrators from other countries who are tuning in for Vacation Stamping School. So on Sunday, Mom and I will share the projects that we've designed to share with the Vacation Stamping School attendees at that event. Oh, I'm so happy to see some of you are joining us. Tony, can't wait to hang out with you on Saturday. All right, you guys, that is it for me tonight. Thank you again for joining me. Have a fabulous evening. Happy stamping, and I'll see you soon. Bye.